continue that transportation to and from the airport.
Okay. And you're up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Select Board's called to order at 6:03 on July 11th, 2019. And the first thing on the agenda is to approve the June 13th minutes, but we don't have enough selectmen here to do that, so we can do the 27th.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. 3, public forum. This is an opportunity for anyone who wants to address the Board of Selectmen with any issue that is not on the agenda.
Maybe this is just a difference of how it is worded. But as far as I know, this on number 7, they've started drilling and blasting in there for the foundation. And it says, consider street opening permit for CMP utility line.
We haven't got that far yet.
I know. But usually once you get there, you just vote to either approve it or disapprove it without anybody having a chance to say anything.
Okay.
Go
So I
ahead.
thought I would put my 2 cents worth in first. Okay?
Go ahead.
Whenever I see anything that says a street opening permit, it means they're gonna go in, cut the hot top, dig out, and eventually patch it. Well, at that site, on the opposite side of the road, CMP has a pole. On the Walker's Point side, there's a pole on the side of the road. Now, rather than open up a real good paved road,
We're not gonna open up a paved road. It's gonna go on the side. It's not gonna cross the road.
okay, so that is a difference of how it's interpreted then.
Yep.
Because the way I look at it, a street opening means that they'd be in there digging a trench across.
No.
And,
not.
and I would say that's not an incorrect assumption. A lot of times they do, they cross the street. In this case, it's gonna be parallel, it's just in the right-of-way, so a street opening permit would be for any time someone's digging in the right-of-way.
But I know there is a pole on
The other side?
the inland side of the road there that, where it was, somebody could go to that and wouldn't have to bother the street.
No, we're gonna be good with this one, I think.
You'll like the answers.
Anybody else from the public? No? Okay. Okay, Jeffrey's Way discussion. At the last meeting, there was only 3 of us. Tonight, there's only 3 of us. Is there anybody here that wants to talk about the Jeffrey's Way? Come right up, sir.
I am Mark Veillet of 35 Kings Lane at Goose Rocks, more or less a quarter of a mile from Jeffrey's Way. And I just came here to bear witness to a couple of things. One, that it is a real issue that needs being taken care of, but also acknowledge that the few changes that were made with the signage already have helped a great deal, as well as I think we made it forbidden for people to deliver the kayaks, for example, this year.
Yeah.
So those things have helped. Although this said, in general, I appreciated the fact that the person with the kayaks was a very, very good driver, and sometimes some of the people driving in there scare me a lot more than him and his big rig. But that's beyond the fact. So again, my point for being here tonight is really to stress that this is a real issue. It's not, neighbors are complaining about the fact that, there's more people going to the beach. None of that. There are, as you've been, I think, appraised, a lot of people using that as their gateway to the beach, small kids with bikes and with other things, running. A lot of people coming and backing in or backing out. So essentially, this is, in my view, an accident waiting to happen. So again, we have maybe a bit of a breezer with the new signage has also apparently dissuaded a few people from driving, and they see no turnaround to say, oh, we might as well just not get in there. But nonetheless, my personal opinion would be that at least in season, it would be fairly appropriate to make it neighbors only, with maybe a small indication that one and maybe possibly, if it was me, I would extend to 2 handicap parking lots there. Would make it, a street that's essentially pedestrian.
So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Have you given any thought about where we could move the drop-off?
Yes, we have discussed that on a few occasions. We could, again, make a few of maybe 1 or 2 spots of the parking spaces on Kings Highway, nearby the entrances of the beach there. Would be very adequate to have, a 10-minute drop-off, and then people would just queue up. And that would even serve possibly the professional interest of the person delivering kayak. Would be just like the others. They can be here, can drop it off in 5 minutes.
Well, a lot of times there's more than 1 or 2 cars that want to drop off. So what are we going to do with the traffic? Where's the traffic going to go? Is it going to block the road going down through? This is a lot of things that we're going to have to take into consideration. And I think that we need to get more input from the backside of Goose Rocks Beach, all those people there. We haven't heard from anybody yet that I'm aware of. Have we? Have we heard? We haven't heard from anybody. No input whatsoever or anything. So we're not gonna do anything about this tonight, but we are definitely gonna look into it and see where it goes.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, consider a supplemental sewer bill for 29 Kings Lane. Good evening.
Good evening. So it was discovered on Friday, the 21st, that the residents at 29 Kings Lane, map block and lot number 41-2-34, had an accessory apartment that had not been assessed a yearly sewer charge. After looking into the matter, there had been a building permit obtained in 2014 to add the second floor for the existing garage, and it currently has a kitchen, full bath, and sleeping quarters in it, so it does meet the definition of a dwelling unit for the wastewater ordinance. The owner had expressed to me that it was simply office space as it existed right now. However, there was a VRBO listing for that property. She had been renting that out. So I am recommending a supplemental assessment on the property in the amount of $1,367.62.
Okay. Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
What's your motion?
Motion to build 29 Kings Lane for the apartment.
13
3 years, right?
For
3 years, correct.
$1,367.62.
13, yep.
I second the motion.
First and second, all in favor?
And just to make you aware, we are going back now and checking building permits for the last 5 years have been pulled to see if there's any other accessory dwellings in town that may not be getting built.
It
correctly.
sounds like you're
So,
tightening everything up and making it fair.
Trying to.
Yeah.
Trying
Very
to.
good, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Consider grinder pump replacement for wastewater.
Yeah, so this is the program that was started in 2014. This will be the second to last year of this program. It's to purchase 13 of the new pumps. We're looking to sole source this through Williamson New England Electric Motor Service Corporation because of the manufacturing pricing that they're giving us. The price that they had given us was $27,045, and that includes the shipping. The only other contacts that we would have for that would be retail vendors for that, so the pricing would have a markup in it. So we're looking for authorization to purchase those grinder pumps for that amount.
Does the fact that it's over the budget level
$45?
$45 create a problem.
It's, yeah, as long as he's able to stay within his full budget, including capital, he's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a motion?
I do. I
He'll
move-
have to make up that $45 someplace else.
Someplace else, right. Well, then I move
No more
that-
bullets this year, I'd say.
I will find it.
I still want to make a motion.
Go for it.
Okay, that we purchase from Williamson New England Electric Motor Service, the grinder pumps for $27,045.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Consider street opening permit for Dino's Spignardi, 314 Ocean Avenue for CMP utility line. Hi, Mike.
Just to let you know, I did meet with the owner and the excavator down at the site. They are gonna dig a trench parallel to the road from the utility pole to get to their site. And I explained to him, you know, if he's working with an excavator to keep it off the pavement, and he's gonna use plywood to protect the pavement where he needs to.
He's gonna what?
Use plywood to protect the pavement from the excavator tracks, if
You'll
he
check
needs
on
to.
that after the fact? After it's-
I went down there after he unloaded, he had actually done that.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right,
he's done well so far.
all right,
Okay.
thanks. Do we have a motion?
Move to accept?
I second.
First, second, all in favor?
We're good.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, let's see. Appoint boards and committees. So, let me turn this around. So the first one we're looking at is administrative code, and it's a one-year appointment, and the one-year appointment will, of course, expire in 2020, and it's Wayne Adams, Stedman Seavey, Richard Smith, April Defoe, and Michael Weston.
Move to accept?
Second.
All in favor? Ted Baker is, there's Ted Baker on it.
Ted Baker put in an application for that, but we really need him. That was his first choice, and his second choice was Board of Assessment
Okay.
Review, and we really need help at Board of Assessment Review.
All right. So, excuse me. Board of Assessment Review, it's it's on a staggered basis, 3-year terms, and we're gonna do Gordon Ayer, and his will expire in 2022. Can I have a motion for that, because these are different dates?
What about April?
And actually, April Defoe's actually April, appointed to 2022, so April Defoe and Gordon Ayer.
I move that we do that.
Second?
All in favor? Karen Schlegel will expire on 2021.
Move
So
to
moved.
accept?
All
Second?
in favor? And we have an alternative, Ted Baker, and he will be an alternate, and his will expire on 2020.
Move to accept?
Second.
All in favor? Cape Porpoise Pier. This is a one-year term. Peter Eaton, Arnold Nickerson, Benjamin Noonan, Zanny Talmadge, Eric Wiles, and Robert O'Reilly.
Move to accept?
Second.
All in favor? Cemetery Committee, it's a one-year term. Ruth Fernandez, Linda Bryan, Greg Pargalis, Ann Sanders, and Rita Schlegel.
Move to accept?
Second.
All in favor? Conservation Commission. This is a, shall be a 1, 2, or 3s. Okay, so we have one for the Conservation Commission,
Right.
Carol
Lobossinier.
LeBossinier, and she will expire on 2022.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Okay, Government Wharf, that's a one-year term. Jeff Davis, Ron Francor, Thomas Mansfield, Chris Welch, and Andrew Welch.
Move to accept?
Second.
All in favor? Growth Planning Committee, it's a 3-year term. Barbara Barwise, Jim McCann, and for an alternate would be Michael Corsi, and that expires 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Kennebunk River Committee, it's a one-year term, excuse me,
Three.
Year.
it's a three-year term. So there's one lady up, and that's Susan
Inouye.
Inouye, expires 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Lighting Committee, three-year term, George Actor, expires 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Parsons Way Committee, it's three-year term, Louise Spang, expires 2022.
Move to accept.
All in favor? Planning Board, three-year term, staggered. Scott Mahoney, expires 2020.
That's a one-year term.
That's a
Request.
request of 1 year, okay, yeah.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Alternates, George
Lichty.
Lichty,
Yeah.
expires 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. This is a one-year term for Public Safety Committee. Jay Everett, Mike Claus, Craig Sanford, and Joseph Carroll.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Suzer Advisory Committee, it's a one-year term. Bob Convery, Stephen Couture, and Joseph Mead.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Okay, Shade Tree Committee, it's a one-year term, expires 2020. Sarah Adams, Kimberly Gursky, John Ripton, Nina Perlmutter, and Robert Mills.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Shellfish Conservation Committee. This is a three-year term. David Conway, expires 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? ZBA, Gordon Ayer, April Defoe, and Wayne Fezzington, all three expire in 2022.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Okay,
That is it.
that is it. Okay, 9, excuse me, appoint selectmen representatives to the boards and committees. Boy, we could do a lot of damage with Stuart and
Boy, am I
Ed not
glad I
here,
came
huh?
tonight.
Does he know what he's in for?
We could have this easy, you know, for ourselves. Cape Porpoise Pier Committee, I think Ed still wants to be with that. Is that all right with you guys?
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay. Goose Rocks Beach Advisory Committee, Sheila really wants to stay with this as long as it
It's
doesn't
possible.
meet on Monday,
As long as it doesn't meet on Mondays.
okay? We don't have to vote for this, right? We just accept it, or do we?
I think it's good that you vote to appoint people to these committees.
On this itself, okay, all in favor?
Sure.
I
Why
can't
not?
see
Yeah,
your hand very well.
Sheila, she can vote for herself on this one, yeah.
Okay, Government Wharf, Alan Daggett, I just assume stay if you'll have me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Graves Library Board, Edward Hutchins,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? Investment Committee, Alan Daggett, Patrick Briggs,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? KEMS, Patrick Briggs,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? Public Safety Committee, Patrick Briggs,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? SMRPC, Stuart Barwise.
Did you skip public safety?
No,
No, I
he
got
got
Oh,
that.
you
it.
got
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor? Growth Plan Committee, Alan Daggett,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? Plan Board, Patrick Briggs,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? Shade Tree Committee, Sheila Matthews Bull,
Move to accept.
all in favor?
I seconded.
Zone Board of Appeals, Sheila Matthews Bull,
Move to accept.
Second?
all in favor? Thank you.
Okey-doke.
I didn't know we had to vote on that for us, but.
I can't hear anything.
That's my excuse. Now you should feel real sorry for me.
Other
Okay,
business
Other
already.
business.
Wow.
Would you like other business?
I'm good.
Do you want to do
No,
county
I-
taxes first?
I beg pardon?
Do you want to do county taxes first?
Sure.
Is that on the agenda?
Yeah. It's A.
It's A,
Number 10A.
for sign the assessors return for county taxes. So,
What-
need to
Explain
vote
that.
on that. Can you-
They
you wanna-
assess us a bill each year, but we have to sign off on it because it becomes part of the tax commitment.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So for this amount that you've got here,
$1,143,775.22.
And we have no say in this, right?
That is
We just-
correct.
You can say all you want, it's gonna be any good.
Right.
it doesn't work.
So we have to have a vote on
I
this.
guess we move to accept.
I second it.
All in favor? Okay.
So I want to remind everybody that the visioning session for the village parcel will take place on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to noon at the Kennebunkport Consolidated School. So it is a chance to help design the parcel, and the consultants will also be working throughout the weekend. They'll be stationed after Saturday morning here at 32 North Street. People can stop in and see their work and see how it's unfolding and give them feedback. And then their concept design will be available on Monday evening, and we'll be televising that to see how that design looks. I would remind everybody we have free daycare on Saturday morning from 9 to noon, so you can bring the kids and they'll play over at Parks and Rec while you go to the visioning session.
Sounds like a lot of fun to
How
me.
long does the session last per person? In other words, how long would they,
The whole thing is 9 to noon, so
Right.
everybody will be working from 9 to noon.
but would the people who want to assist or, partake, stay from 9 to noon?
Yes, from
They
9
should plan to stay.
They should plan to stay for 9 to noon.
Okay.
It starts with a presentation on the work that's been done to date and the interview stakeholder groups, as well as an overview of the parcel. And then we'll be doing a visual preference survey. Then people will be in small groups showing what design they would like to see, what uses at the property. The groups will report out at the end of it, and then we'll close up and wrap up.
And the results are published on Monday, the following Monday?
Yes.
And what about the other two meetings?
So then after all of that input, the village parcel committee will get back together, and they'll have a chance to talk and discuss and evaluate the information that we've received.
Okay, great.
So the second item I just wanted to bring up is I did get some feedback from some residents about the RSU 21 school board vote. The enrollment task force that the RSU 21 board established has been working for, I don't know, about a year on what to do with declining population. So certainly the state of Maine is an aging population. We are seeing decreasing student population, and certainly RSU 21 through Kennebunkport and Arundel are seeing quite a bit of that. Kennebunkport is certainly seeing that at a steeper curve than the other two communities. We have lost about 25% of our student population in the last 5 years, and we've lost about 33% of our population in the last 10 years, whereas the RSU 21 population has only decreased about 3% over that time period. So the task force was established to determine what could be done about it and how to fairly and equitably assign resources and classroom space and create a quality environment for all students. So some of the items that they have developed are good measure ones in terms of if people are interested in going to schools with smaller populations, they can help ease that burden by providing transportation and also giving them guarantees that they could stay there through the entire time their child is in that elementary school versus only on a year-by-year basis. But The larger recommendation, which is on page 8 of their report, which you can find on the RSU website, which is recommendation number 6, talks about the reassignment of student populations between the 4 elementary schools, 2 in Kennebunk, 1 in Kennebunkport, and 1 in Arundel. There were 3 approaches established under that recommendation. The first one was to redistrict the schools, so basically Consolidated's boundary line would go outside of Kennebunkport into Arundel and Kennebunk to capture more students to bring to Consolidated. Approach 2 and 3 is looking at the 4 elementary schools and reassigning classes and grade levels, so that you would not have a K through 5 school in each community, but you might have a K through 2 or a K through 3 school, or a 4 and 5 or 3 through 5 school. And that all kids within the district would have to move schools at some point in their elementary education. So on June 17th, the school board voted on that, and the vote was to continue with a smaller task force group to explore options 2 and 3, which would be the reassignment of all grade levels between the 4 elementary schools. They will be discussing it again this Monday night, July 15th, and they may be amending that. It may stay the same. But the hope is that this smaller group would come forward with any final recommendations in December of 2019. So certainly I want to make people aware that no decisions have been made at this point, that people are just still exploring options. The reality is that if we are a full district, this affects everyone, and Consolidated schools certainly, we want that to be maintained viable. I hear that over and over again from community members. And I have asked school staff whether we could meet to discuss this, maybe with a subgroup of our board, so that we can better understand the issue and what potential solutions are there. We can help spread the word so that people can be engaged in this process.
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
Right. Well, people should pay attention.
Yeah, they absolutely should. And if they have an opinion, they should
And
voice it.
I would just remind people that at these school board meetings, they are hearing from people in other communities. And parents are showing up and being vocal about that. And if people are concerned, that is the right outlet to be a part of that
Do it
solution.
now. Needs to be
Yeah,
done now.
before they make a final decision.
If you have any questions, go to the school board meetings.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Lloyd? No? Pat? do
No,
you have
I'm good.
anything?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm good.
And I'm all set too.
I move the warrant,
Second,
All in favor?
and I also move to adjourn.
second.
All in favor? Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Have a good evening.
We have 2